And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We're going back to a galaxy far, far away with another playthrough of Gaia Project. And I have randomized my faction that I will be playing as today. And we ended up with the Bal T'aks. And I did a randomized setup with the website that I use, which boardgamehelpers.com. And one of the factions that came up was the Itars. The other one was Hash Halas. And I'm going to try to get all of the various colors of the Automa featured. I say colors because again there's only one Automa for each of the 7 colors in the game. So white would be the Itars. So we are going to play against the Itars and get them on the channel. The only Automas we have not featured yet, I believe we have not featured the Gleans yet, and we have not featured, I don't remember, we did the Geodens, Taklons, Terrans. Who's gray over here? I think Furrex maybe. No, what? Yep, we have not done the Furrex yet either, and that actually is a really tricky Automa. So we'll get to them pretty soon, hopefully. All right, so here's the deal. I am going to do what I've been doing the last couple of playthroughs. Here's a first picture of the setup. So there's the board. Obviously, you'll be able to see that as we go. And then we have our 5 randomizers for the boosters, for the round boosters. So we'll kind of get to those as I pick my first one. The next picture we have here are the scoring tiles. Round 1 is 4 points for if we build a trading station. Round 2 is 2 points for every time we move up on a research track. Round 3 is 3 points for a trading station. Round 4 is 3 points for building a mine on a Gaia planet. Round 4 is 4 points for building a mine on a Gaia planet. Might want to do that. And round 5, we have 2 points for every mine we build. Not a strong suit of round boosters and around scoring tiles that I go toward normally. So this will be a nice test for me as I continue to struggle to get better and better at this game. I've done 6 warm-ups. Again, I just took the Bal T'aks against all 6 of the Automas once each, just to kind of get my head wrapped around what this faction does and how it interacts. I played with them before, but really wanted to make sure I'm putting in the work so I have something valuable to say in these videos here. And I was 3-3, so this is about as coin flip as I get with games in me. So we'll see what combos I can put together here. Right, the scoring for the Automa is going to be a little bit middle of the pack. It's not that bad. It's going to get 3, 2, 3, and then in the second, in the back half, we have 2, 2, 6. So that's going to be a total of 26 points the Automa will get from the round scoring. Again, if you wanted to and you're playing at home, you could just say, fine, 26 points for the Automa and not have to worry about scoring them the rest of the game. I'm going to score as we go because I think it just kind of gives a better sense of the back and forth that happens. How the Automa really does simulate, a real player. The Bal T'aks are interesting. I lean, in a lot of my games, I've tried to lean very heavily into what makes them unique. It's one of the few factions that I do not, I really haven't figured out a strategy that involves getting your Planetary Institute out. It's almost like, why bother? If you're going to give me other benefits, how does this work? So the Planetary Institute, basically, when you put it out, that means you can advance up in the navigation track. You notice I have my little marker here on its side as a reminder to me that I can never advance along the navigation track until I build my Planetary Institute. And honestly, most of the games I just never built the Planetary Institute and didn't bother. So what makes up for that? Well, if I'm not getting navigation, well, how else are we extending our range? Well, the Q.I.Cs, remember, you can always trade in 1 Q.I.C to get +2 to your range. Now, how are you getting Q.I.Cs? Well, good question. You will have gaiaformers. You, at any point, as a free action, basically another one of the actions added into this array of free actions that we have, we can take the gaiaformer, put it over into the Gaia area on your power cycle, and you can turn that into a Q.I.C, and then that's how you're going to get range, not using the navigation track. Now, the unfortunate thing in not building the Planetary Institute is that you're not going to get that cycle 4 power. So it makes me happy to see that we have the, well, I guess there's one more picture I should have gone to. The last picture here is obviously the research tech tile setup, and you'll see we do have in the bottom 3 that's cycle 4, because we're going to really want that if we're not going to be using this cycle power from our Planetary Institute, right? So, you know, the base tech tiles we have on the bottom row, again, the cycle 4, the 1 knowledge and 1 credit, really like that that's down there, and the 7 points, really like that that's down there. That'll be a nice tile to get late to kind of jump up a research track as we go near the end. I tend to get the tile that makes your Planetary Institute and your academies count for 4. Obviously, I'm not planning to build the Planetary Institute, but I will probably build both of my academies. So having them count for 4 will help me get a 3rd federation, which is usually a goal of mine going to these games. And then you'll see the rest of these tiles. I still don't see how a knowledge track strategy is going to work for us this game, especially although, you know, the 3 points per placing a mine on the Gaia planet, if we are going to be using our gaiaformers to start, you know, terraforming some of these Gaia planets and building mines there, maybe there's some synergy we can go with that. So, you know, I won't totally rule it out, but obviously the economic track is nice. At some point we'll get that extra ore and that extra Q.I.C. At some point early, we'll probably grab this +4 credit, because that's going to be important for us to get more credit, because a lot of times we will not have our research stations, or sorry, our trading stations on the board too much. I will promise to be better than I was. Well, I can't promise it, but I will try very hard to be better in this video than the last video in saying trading stations and research labs. Never the two shall meet. All right, so the 4 credit will be nice on the Gaia forming track, and then having on this AI track that you get a knowledge for every planet type you have could be very cool. And we have a second motivation to get a lot of planet types, because if we get a lot of planet types, we get this late, go up the Q.I.C. track a little bit late, get a bunch of knowledge, move up other tracks, but also the end game scoring. I didn't go through those 2 tiles when I was talking about the round scoring tiles, the end game scoring tiles. The first one is going to be the number of different planet types that are colonized. The neutral third player starts on a 5 there. And then the number of buildings in a federation, the neutral third player starts at a 10. How does that work for the Automa? Again, the Automa, you're going to count the total number of their buildings, and you will reduce that by 1. Those are both very good tiles for us. The Itars do not do a lot of building. They do not spread out a ton like a lot of the other factions do. So we do have an advantage built in now when it comes to those end game scoring tiles. It would not be crazy for us to score 36 points there, and if we're at the top of 2 tracks, well, that's 50 points, right? So if we're down by 20, we still have a chance to overcome and overtake the Itars in the endgame scoring. Now, you will notice I have all the gray buildings out. The white buildings are really harsh with my camera. I'm still saving up to upgrade this camera at some point in the future. Cameras are expensive, newsflash. So you see how the white, even on this card, kind of, you know, this is a very hard game to get the light balance right for with my current setup. So I've just gone with the gray. It's a little bit less harsh on the eyes with these videos. So yes, this is gray. I understand that, but we are using gray as a proxy for the white buildings for the Itars. All right, that's cool. And then the advanced research tiles, the advanced tech tiles we have up here get 2 points every time you would move up on a track. You can have an action once a round. You can get yourself 3 knowledge. You can get 3 points every time you build a trading station. Once a round you can get 3 ore, 5 points for every federation token that you have at the time you get that. That's a nice tile, especially, you know, one strategy here, maybe run up the terraforming track, grab this, that's another tile that would count for that. If I have 2 other federations, that's a 15-point boost, and I can move up on another track. There's a lot of things that can go on there. Now, obviously, you're always managing how many federation tokens you have, right? So I've become a much bigger fan in my plays of going up this terraforming track just to give me another federation tile, so I can flip it over to its gray side to either take an advanced tech tile, or so I can move into the 5th area of one of the tracks, right? And then obviously the knowledge track, we have 2 points for every mine that you have on the board at the time you take it, right? Because it has the white swoosh as opposed to the green. All right, I'm going to finish up the rest of setup here. So we have to put the Itars' first 2 mines on the board. Their first 2 mines are going to go closest to the center of the galaxy. This one is 2 away from the center. This one is 4 away from the center. So that is good to go. What are the Itars? their ability, their faction action is use the same support card for both power and Q.I.C actions, and you will basically carry out 2 power and Q.I.C actions. So the Itars are going to try to jam up this track really good when they do a faction action, and then they get 4 points. So it's just a pretty big point grab, right? And that's all they're doing, is just grabbing points, grabbing points, grabbing points, grabbing points, and you're just hoping they don't grab too many points because you would like to win. That is the name of the game. We are going to take this. I did sleeve up all my Automa cards. So I have this deck of 16 cards. I'm going to flip over one. Why? We're going to look there. All right, so they're going to take the 2 credit and a Q.I.C as their starting round booster. And now I'm going to go through the Automa deck. We're going to get all the cards with that green card on the bottom. So there's 2 of them, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then since we're playing on hard, I'm going to add number 9. Now I'm going to shuffle the rest of these cards. I'm going to take the bottom 4 and just take them out of the game. There should be 6 remaining. And then I'm going to add one of those. And there's going to be 8 cards in the Automa deck in the first round. And you don't have, I mean, I take the 4 outs because then I know if I get to the end of the game and I'm like, oh wait, why do I have 1 extra card? I'm like, oh, you forgot to add a card at some point, which is a mistake I might have made, you know, a few dozen times when I was learning to play this game. That's about that. Cool. You'll notice I did put reminder tokens on all of the scoring tiles to make sure I do that at the end of every round. And then I did just put a tile there and a token there. And I'll use satellites, extra satellites, to track how many different planet types both the Automa and myself have colonized with a mine. Cool. So there is that. I'm going to put a token there. Again, the bottom 3 get turned sideways. If you get to that, there's an X at the top of the card. There will be no more actions for the Automa that round. So hopefully we get a lot of X's quickly. So I need to place my initial 2 mines. I'm going to put this one there, not because I love that spot, but because it is within 2 of the Automa. And if they do any upgrades early, I want to make sure I'm going to be able to cycle power off of them getting those upgrades, right? And that is the only orange on the board that is within 2 of them. So the other thing I'm going to want to do, so looking at the rounds 4 and 5 is where, you know, colonizing Gaia planets is really going to start making a lot of sense. Remember, the Itars are going to colonize pretty easily on white, blue, and gray. So that blue will probably colonize that gray. So, I mean, if I end up in this area, for me, if I go there, the problem is going to be hard to get to that brown because that's 2 terraforming steps. If I go here, I have a lot of flexibility. I mean, I could, again, spend a Q.I.C, get to the yellow, get to the red. Those are both only 1 terraforming step, but I'd still feel a little bit in no man's land. I am going to want to, you know, looking at where the Gaia planets and the Q, you know, this area will be really nice. And like if I can get round 3 and 4 and I can do a bunch of mines in this area and just rack up 3-4 points each mine I build, and I'm going to probably have the gaiaformers. I mean, I'm looking at where I'm at now. I do think it's going to make some sense for me to just lean into the Bal T'aks and their special ability here. But yikes. There's no obvious place for this mine. No obvious place for this mine. Because one thing I'll probably do, I think my second mine will probably be there. You know, I'll probably use a Q.I.C, get there, start establishing enough buildings here for my first federation at some point. And again, I can do that at any time that it makes the most sense for me because again, there's no point scoring bonus for me to hold off on it, right? So that's one thing. And there's like no point scoring bonus for me to hold off on building my academies, right? So there's some things that are pretty streamlined right now. It's just kind of, I do want to go up on a bunch of tech tiles next round. I want to get a couple of research stations out this round if I can. I'm going to actually put this sucker over here. It's going to be really hard for the Itars to be in a place where they're actually building on orange, right? You know, barring getting something where endgame scoring matters. So I think if I can develop out here, take care of this red without having to spend a Q.I.C because it's adjacent, and then I could come out to this yellow and do some nice development in this area. I think that makes the most sense. But I'm primarily, my early rounds, I'm probably going to be focusing on building up a federation in, what is that, sector 2. So cool. So I need to grab my initial round booster. I'm going to add 2. I know I'm going to go up the Gaia forming track. So I know I'm going to add 3 power to my splice. So one of the things about the Bal T'aks is they start with 2 and 2 in their power cycle. And another unique thing that's worth mentioning, the rest of their tracks are pretty much standard, but the academies Instead of having this be a once around action where you get a Q.I.C. as it is in a lot of the factions, this time you get 4 credit because again you have an alternate way of getting Q.I.Cs just with your gaiaformers. And I've had games where I've been really able to use all the extra Q.I.Cs in racking up points in the power Q.I.C. actions. So, or I guess the Q.I.C. actions more specifically. If I'm using Q.I.Cs, they're probably Q.I.C. actions. So there's a nice synergy that can happen. Now again, the Itars are going to make that a little bit tougher at times because they're going to be covering up 2 of these things a pop every time they have a card that says to cover up 1. So I am stalling. I am going to start chasing some knowledge. I don't think it makes sense to be doing a lot of points things here. So again, these round boosters are all like 1 ore. Then what else do you want? Points, 2 more. I don't want to load up my power cycle with so much power that it's hard for me to use it, right? So let me take this round booster. I'll put this right here. And now we'll go to income. So what are the 5 parts of income? So there's ore. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I get 4 ore. Gets me up to 8. Knowledge, 1, 2. Q.I.C, none. Not doing anything with my power cycle, and finally I'm not getting any credit. And again, you notice I did start with the gaiaformer. Why? Because according to the track, you move one of the gaiaforming track, and what's the reward there? Oh dang, you get yourself your first gaiaformer. So very good. I do wish that one of these things was the terraforming step, because then I would really make it super easy for me to get into that yellow, and that's kind of a priority for me right now. Although again, it's not a huge rush because I know that the Itars, again, that's 3 terraforming steps from them, so they're not going to be going there very quickly as it is. So what do I want to do? I think it's going to make sense. Let me try to start moving up this track, and I'm going to start. I'll probably grab this and give myself the ability to cycle some power and kind of get something done with this power cycle this round, right? So I'm going to spend 2 ore. That's not ore, that's points. 2 ore goes from 8 to 6. I'm going to spend 3 credit, and I'm going to build this. It is within range 2, so I do not need to worry about spending the 6. And that is my first trading station. And since I built a trading station, I get 4 points. I'm in the lead. Look at me. Cool. We're going to go to the Itars. What do they got? That's their support card. And now they're going to have... Oh, and by the way, I misspoke a little bit. Yeah, they don't get 2 power cycles or Q.I.C. or power steps every time they get a power card. It's only when they're doing their faction action. And the good thing is they just burned one of their faction actions as the first support card. So that will be nice. What are they doing though? So they're going to do a power Q.I.C. action. They're going to do, it's at 2 coming from the right, so they're going to cover up that and that. So obviously if this was the last round and I was trying to spend Q.I.Cs to get points, well, that would have been really bad. And then they're going to get themselves 4 points because they could not bear being behind me even for 1 round. And that's that. That's going to come off. I did score them. My turn. We're going to get myself what are we getting you? We're going to get ourselves a research station. All right, research lab. I did it again. Research lab. So I spent 3 ore. I spent 5 credit. So I went from 6 to 3 and 12 down to 7. And then we're going to put the research lab where? Well, I only have 1 option to put it there. And because I put out a research lab, we get ourselves a tech tile. I'm going to take the tech tile that allows me to cycle 4 power. And that because I took a tech tile and it's from this row, I get to move up on any track I want. I want to move up on the gaiaforming track. That gives me 3 power added to section 1 of my power cycle. Good stuff. All right, Automa's turn. We're going to go, I'll put that, should work. All right, this goes over, this comes here. And we have what? The Automa's doing an upgrade. What are they going to upgrade? They're going to upgrade, first priority is upgrading a trading station into a planetary institute. However, they don't have a trading station, so they're going to go now do a mine to a trading station. They're going to go closest to me. I get to spend the 1 less than the power worth of the research labs. So I'm going to spend 1 point, and that allows me to cycle 2 power. Very good. The Automa now gets 1 point for doing that upgrade action, and that is all she wrote. I'm going to now I'm going to do my once around action and cycle 4. So these 3 go up here, this goes here. Automa's turn, support card gets moved over, and now what? Automa's going up on a track. They're moving up on a track 1 coming from the left, that goes up on there. They get 0 points for that. My turn, I'm going to spend 4 knowledge. I'm going to move up on the gaiaforming track again. That gets me my second gaiaformer. And because I moved over on that, I get the immediate benefit of cycling 3, which is very nice. Cool. That was my action. Automa's turn. What's going on? Automa's doing an upgrade. All right. Their first priority is what? The first priority is to go from a trading station to a planetary institute. That goes there. I can spend a point and cycle 2 again, and Automa gets 1 point. So cool. My turn. I'm going to cycle 3, and I'm going to do this power action. So I get 1 terraforming step. Now I'm going to, as a free action, turn this gaiaformer into a Q.I.C. I'm going to immediately spend that Q.I.C. to give me range 3, because you always start with range 1 based on the navigation track. Now you have range 3. I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credit. Gets me another 2 ore and 5 credit. I'm going to put a mine on the yellow planet there. Cool. I'm going to mark that with one of my extra satellites. So we remember I have done that. That will matter for both that and for endgame scoring. And then that's the end of my action. Automa's turn. Possible end of round. It is not the end of the round, all right, because it's now green. So they're going to go again. So they're going to do build a mine, range 2. I'm going to use these blue markers to help me figure out what planet I'm building on. So we're looking range 2 from where they are. Endgame scoring does not matter because although that is marked here, it is, it's Federation. So we don't have to worry about that. We only have to worry about endgame scoring if it's at the top. And then we'd have to make sure we're building on a if possible, building on a planet type the Automa doesn't already have. So range 2. Now this, we're looking for whites range 2. There are none. So we have a gray range 2, a green range 2, a green range 2. These are all 1 terraforming step. And there's a blue range 2. So that is it. Those are all the grays, blues, and greens range 2 from where the Automa currently has structures. Now we're going to go closest to me. This one's closest to me. It's right next door. So the Automa is going to build a mine. It's going to build a mine here. That is a new planet type for them. So we're going to mark that. I get to spend a point to cycle 2 one more time. And the Automa gets 1 point. Done. Good job, Automa. My turn. I can build an... It's probably worth it. All right. I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit again. And I'm going to place a trading station there. Again, I just built that mine last turn, and now I placed a trading station, and now because of the round scoring, I get 4 points from that. Gets me up to 15. Automa's turn. This moves over, this moves down. Automa, well, it would be a power Q.I.C. action. It wouldn't be a double because it's not a faction action. However, we have an X, so they stop. Support card says they're going to grab this. This round booster will go to the right. These cards are going to be flipped over. We're going to add 1 card on top, and that will be, we'll get them set up for next round. So Automa is going to score for the round scoring bonus. They're going to get 3 points because we're in rounds 1, 2, or 3. So I'll move them up in a second. Let me get this set. So 3 cards sideways, 6 cards on top. That's perfect. So 3 points, they go from 17 up to 20. And I'll take this off because we've already scored that. Actually, I'll just flip it over because I'm not building any more trading stations. Dunskies. So Automa's also going to go first next turn. So I'll put that over there. Great. My turn. I don't think there's anything I want to do this turn that's all that important, right? I mean, at some point, I think I grab this. Credits are going to be nice. And then if I grab that, that's a nice income, and then I could really focus on the economic track. So it's a little weird to go the gaiaforming track first, but I think which with the Bal T'aks and what's going on is going to make sense. And then again, looking ahead to round 4 and 5, having all 3 of my gaiaformers could be very nice as far as trying to really crush. I mean, having those two right there, there's a bunch of cool things going on. Now, again, this is going to be very Q.I.C. heavy for me to settle to put a mine on a Gaia planet directly. Why? Because I'm not going to be moving up the navigation track. So I'm kind of stuck doing 1 Q.I.C. to move or to extend my range, and I'm going to send 1 Q.I.C. to actually be able to settle on it, right? So the more I can settle on Gaia planets, the more I can save on those Q.I.C.s that I'm going to want to do other things as well, right? So before I'm going to end my round, I'm going to move that 1 gaiaformer over, and I'm going to grab myself a Q.I.C. as a free action. Again, they will just chill in my Gaia area, and I'm cool with end of round. I'm going to grab, what do I want? I will probably not be building that many trading stations, so that probably doesn't make that much sense. I don't know if I want the Q.I.C. I kind of would prefer the ore, but the credits could be nice too. So, and I definitely don't want 2 more power in my cycle. So I'm going to grab this one, the one the Automa just had, and that is the end of the round. Cool. So let's clear off the power Q.I.C. actions. We're going to do the income phase first, right? So income phase, what's happening? I'm going to get 2 knowledge, gets me up to 3. I'm going to get 3 credit and 2 credit, goes from 2 to 7. I'm going to get 1, 2 ore, gets me from 0 to 2. I am going to get a Q.I.C. and I don't do anything with my power cycle. Done. We are now going to do the gaiaforming phase. My gaiaformers are going to move from my power cycle onto their little slots, their little homes on my board. Cool. The Automa is going to go. The first support card is a Q.I.C. action, and now we have build a mine. So build a mine range 2, the support card says, endgame scoring matters. We have to care about having a planet type not already built on. So what does that rule out? Well, that just rules out whites, the Itars home planet, and the grays. So now we're going to do range 2. Are there any blues? Because there's still terraforming steps as the next tiebreaker. So there are going to be blues as 1 terraforming step and greens as 1 terraforming step. So those are all the blues and greens within range 2 of the Itars current structures. We're going to go closest to me, and that means we're going to put a mine here on this Gaia planet. That's a new planet type for the Itars, and I can spend a point to cycle 2. Cool. Itars get 1 point, gets them up to 21. My turn. I want to do move up on a track a couple of times. I mean, it's 2 points there. Part of me is tempted to build an academy, but that's going to be a little tight. I can get the ore from these gaiaformers, so that wouldn't be a major problem. It's not ideal though. I also want to get 2 knowledge though, if I can help it. If I get 2 knowledge, it gets me to 5, and then if I put the academy out, that means I'll be able to go up 2 more tracks next turn, and I can, I'll have 2 more moves up tracks from just knowledge alone, not even counting building research labs and stuff. So that's a little bit enticing for me, because then I can really start moving up the economic track like I'm going to want for rounds 3 and 4. Gaiaforming track is also appealing, especially if I go to the academy early, getting the extra ore as you go up, plus, being able to take, maybe taking that tile as the 3rd tile I take to go for an early federation. So much to calculate. This game will make your head hurt. Yes, it will. All right, I think it makes the most sense for me to cycle, as much as knowledge is a little bit of a luxury. I'm gonna need ore to do anything I want to do. Yeah, let me get the ore first, and I'll worry about the knowledge, right? So I'm gonna cycle that, and I get 2 more ore, and that's my turn. The Automa's turn. Automa is upgrading. So first priority is upgrading the Planetary Institute. Already done that. Second priority is upgrading to a trading station. The tiebreaker here is closest to me. That's done. I can spend a point to cycle 2, and Automa gets 1 point. Dunskies. My turn. Let me cycle my power again. Again, I'm a little bit of a race. I'm worried they're going to do a faction action and cover up what I want to do on this track here. So I'm going to cycle 4. Automa's turn. They are doing a faction action. Yes, they are. So what are they doing? So power card says 2 coming from the left. That's covered, and that's covered. So that worked out okay. And then the Itars get 4 points. They go from 22 up to 26. My turn. Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to lose a power to cycle 1. Again, that's a free action. And then I'm going to cycle all 4 of those power to cover up this to get myself 2 knowledge. That works. Automa's turn. Another faction action. They're going to go 2 from the right this time. So they're covering up all the Q.I.C. actions. And 4 points. My turn. Yeah, losing a power to do what I did is pretty aggressive. I probably don't do that if I'm not playing the Itars, but I'm so worried they were gonna jam me up, and I really wanted that knowledge for a lot of reasons. So that's fine. What am I trying to go up on here? Interesting. All right, let me do that. I'm going to spend these 4 knowledge to go up on the, man, the economic track. It's so hard not to do the economic track, but I have so many ways to get like kind of the kinds of things I'm looking for here that I'm going to do this. I'm going to move up on the terraforming track, and I'm going to get myself 2 ore, and that will be good. All right, fine. Toma's turn. Automa is, all right, so he still definitely has his action. He's doing a power Q.I.C. action, 2 from the right, 1, 2. He only does it once because it's not a faction action, and 1 point. My turn. I think I do it. Yeah, let me do this. I'm going to grab, I spent 6 ore and 6 credit, so I go from 7 down to 1, and I'm going to put this academy here, and that goes here. Oh, and when I moved up on that track, I got 2 points. I forgot to do that. 1, 2. That's, again, the round scoring. And then I put the academy out, and I'm going to move on. I'm going to take a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile, get a little bit of a credit machine here, and that's going to allow me to move up on this. It gives me a gaiaformer, and because I moved up on another track, I get 2 more points. 1 and 2. And now next round I'll get 3 knowledge, and I'll be able to move up on a different track, and then we'll figure out what track I want that to be. I could go a couple of different ways with that. Yeah, I got some things. I'll probably grab, at some point I'm gonna want to fill up my power cycle because I'm gonna want to make sure I have the flexibility to start putting some satellites on the board, and might probably be a little bit more spread out than is ideal with some of that. So yeah, cool. Automa's turn. The Automa is going to potential end of round. It is the end of round because we get an X. Support card says grab the middle one. Of course, it took my it took the thing with the +2 power. That's fine. We're gonna do this. This comes off. We add 1 card there. Automa's gonna grab 2 points because of the round scoring. Take this off, and that's fine. All right, so the Automa will go first next round. I have to go back and look. I'm not sure if I went first inappropriately last round or not, but the Automa should be going first. So I'll put that there as a reminder. All right, so the ability for me to get so many Q.I.Cs is pretty nuts. I mean, I could just take tech tiles, right? They're 4 Q.I.C, but it gets me boosts, and it will kind of further me along the path I'm looking at. And since I don't have, if I get it down to 1 to gaiaform, 1 ore to gaiaform or terraform, all these different planets, especially with that endgame scoring, it could be really helpful. All right, before I pass again, let me do what I did last round. I'm going to turn all my gaiaformers into my Gaia area of my power cycle, and I'm going to take 3 Q.I.C, and that will be the end of my round. So this is going to go back. I'm going to take, do I want the knowledge? I don't know how many trading stations I'm actually going to be able to get on the board this round, to be honest with you. I only have 6 power. Probably by the end of this round, I'm going to probably want to use these gaiaformers, 2 of these gaiaformers to be on Gaia planets. And I know it's, 3 or 4. I mean, I'm not going to min-max that too much. Because I'm saying 3 or 4 because in round 5 it'll be worth 4 to colonize a Gaia planet in round, or put a mine on a Gaia planet in round 3. It's only worth 3. Round 5 is worth 4. Round 4 is worth 3. But I think that will be fine. I do think I'm going to keep just chasing some knowledge here. So let me grab that. Again, we're going to clear these off. We're going to flip over the round scoring. And then we're going to go to income. So income, 1, 2, 3, 4 knowledge is 1 to 5. We have 1, 2, 3 ore. We have 4, 7 credit. So that's 1 to 8. And no Q.I.Cs, no power. All right. We're going to now go to gaiaforming phase. All 3 of my gaiaformers move back to their homes. And it's like trying to find a place to build, or I could turn into a research station, and it's not going to cost me 1 million satellites to it's not easy. I'm still tempted to take this, which is probably insane. All right, let's see what the Itars first turn is. Again, it is their turn. They are placing a mine. Range 4, endgame scoring matters. All right, so effectively looking for a blue within range 4 because endgame scoring matters, and then the second tiebreaker is going to be the number of terraforming steps. So is there a blue range 4? Yep, there's one here, there's one here. That is not range 4, and that is not range 4. So closest to me, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be that one. So we get a mine here. It's too far away for me to power off of, and the Itars will get another satellite to indicate that they have another planet type that they've done, and they're going to get 1 point. All right. My turn. I don't think I worry about this just yet, right? I mean, we're pretty, again, I'm not in any rush to get Federation tokens just yet. So I will probably want to get that before I do any of my Federation tokens, but I'm going to spend these 4 Q.I.C to do this power Q.I.C action. And I'm going to get this income to move up on the economic track. Yeah, I think that makes some sense. I can get 3 more Q.I.Cs, super easy. So cool. It's fine. Let's boost some income. Let's see what happens. All right. Who needs to go up on the research, the knowledge track when you're just loading up on knowledge income? All right. So power Q.I.C action. They're doing it twice. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 coming from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the Itars are going to get 4 points, 34 up to 38. And that's their turn. My turn. I'm going to colonize this orange because it's just nice and central, and it'll give me a chance to build a research station or a trading station to at least kind of take advantage of the round scoring. So I'm going to spend this last Q.I.C I have, spend 1 ore and 2 knowledge, 2 credit, and I'm going to put this mine there. So that Q.I.C extended my range from 1 to 3, and then it's a normal cost of a mine because I don't have to worry about terraforming because it is my home planet type. Cool. The Itars going there and there. Power Q.I.C action twice again because it is a faction action. 2 from the right. 1, 2, 1, 2. 4 points. It gets them up to 38 to 42. You see how those 4 points at a time really start adding up. My turn. I'm going to do my power cycle action. I'm going to get all 6 of my power into... do I want to do that? No. Better idea. Better idea. Right. I'm going to spend... Oh, man. Think. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to... Oh, I only need the 1. Yeah, never mind. I'll be fine. So I'm going to turn this... I'm going to put this into my Gaia forming area, the Gaia part of my power cycle to get a Q.I.C. Now I'm going to spend this Q.I.C. and I'm going to cycle 3 power out of my power cycle from anywhere I want into my Gaia area, and I'm going to put a gaiaformer onto there. So if nothing else, I want to make sure I get that planet because that will allow me to build a trading station there next turn when I can actually turn it into. So the way the gaiaformer works is probably the first time I've done this on the channel. The way the gaiaformer works is you spend power. I only have to spend 3 power. So I remove 3 power from my cycle into the Gaia area, and during the Gaia phase next turn, I'll be able to put a Gaia planet there, and then I'll be able to build a mine on there like normal. And because my Gaia form is there, I won't have to spend the Q.I.C that it normally costs to colonize a Gaia planet, right? So that's down here, you have to move 6 power out of your cycle. Here you have to move 4 power out of your cycle. Up there you have to move 3 power out of your cycle. So it's a nice place to be. All right, the Automa is going to go. Bang, bang. Automa's building a mine. Endgame scoring doesn't matter. Range 2. So what are we looking for? Again, normal terraforming steps. We're looking for whites range 2. There are none. Blues range 2. Greens range 2. And grays range 2. Leave us with those options. And so we're just going to go closest to me. Too far away for me to power off of. Another Gaia planet for the Automa. And 3 points. 42 to 45. They look at them racing away from me. Those little jerks. That's fine. My turn. I'm going to build a trade station. Now I'm going to cycle 4 power. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm just basically going to turn that into an ore before I move it into my Gaia area. The Automa, they're going to an upgrade. They're upgrading what? They're upgrading a mine into a trading station. They're going to do that here because it's closest to me. I'm going to spend a point and cycle 2. Nope, I'm not. I lied. Just going to move that back to 17 where it was. Automa gets a point. My turn. I'm going to cycle these 3 as a free action just to get myself 1 ore. Now I'm going to cycle these 3 power out of my power cycle altogether to move a gaiaformer there. And it doesn't cost me a Q.I.C. because it's still range. Oh, wait, it would. It would. I can't use that as the basis of range. That's fine, actually. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this into here and get a Q.I.C. So I still would need to use a Q.I.C. there. So it is better to do this in subsequent turns. Whereas, so I'll be able to build a mine there and then use that as basis of range and range 1 to there. Right now, it's just like this amorphous in-between thing. So I almost would rather have the Q.I.C. Anyway, so what am I doing? Good question, Greg. What are you doing? I am debating whether I even want to build, if I want to build a trading station this turn or just save all my resources to be able to build mines next turn. But I probably will build one trading station. I think I'm going to want it eventually, and I might as well get the 3 points while I'm doing this. And again, whatever I can't build next turn, I could save up and try to build more Gaia planets a turn after that. So, you know, there's a bunch of things going on. But I'm going to spend these four of the 5 knowledge I have to move up on the economic track. Economic track in it. Yeah, that's fine. That makes some sense. Automa, bing, bing. Automa's moving up on a random track. 2 from the right, 1 and 2, and 2 points. 46 to 48. My turn. I am spending 2 ore and 3 credit to place a trading station here. That's 2 away from this trading station, so we're good. Doesn't cost me 6, only cost me 3, and I get 3 points for the round scoring, so I go from 17 to 20. Automa's turn, possible end of round. It is end of round, so they keep the first player thing. Their support card says they take this, and that shall work. This will all get shuffled. Add 1 card. There should be 2 left. There is. And then because of the round scoring, they're going to get a bonus of 3 points because we are still in round 2. And I'm going to throw things across the board in fierce anger. That wasn't there, right? Where was that? It was there? Yeah, it makes sense. Cool. Cool, cool. All right. This goes here. This goes here. And 3 points from the round scoring. They go from 48 to 51. Awesome. My turn. I'm going to chill. Yes. So which of these do I want? That's a good question. I think it might be time to get some more power in my cycle. Wondering if I grab this tactile next turn. The math getting a little funny on how I build. Yeah, I probably don't make a federation next turn, so I'm not going to hold off on that. I think I run up the economic track next turn, and I could worry about getting up the terraforming track. You know, I'll start building federations in like rounds 4 or 5, which is fine. So I am going to take, I'm not going to take 2 extra power. I want to take Q.I.C. and 2 credits. No, I think ore is more important. Yeah, it's a point tile. I don't love that. But I can use a Q.I.C. as an ore, so that's fine. What am I thinking about? So let me get the Q.I.C. and 2 credit. And now we go to income phase. We'll move all these off. We'll move these off. And that's fine. So we go income phase. Income phase, I'm going to get 3 plus 4 is 7, plus 4 is 11, plus 1 is 8, plus 2 is 10, plus 2 is 12. So I'm getting 12 credit. I go from 3 to 15. Or 1, 2, 3, not a ton. It gets me up to 4. I get 1 Q.I.C. from the round booster. I get 1, 2, 3, 4 knowledge. It gets me from 1 to 5. All right, very cool. And we are going to, yep, that's it. We don't cycle anything. Oh, I do cycle 2, but I have nothing. This is why income before Gaia phase is important. I have nothing in my power cycle to cycle. Cool. Gaia phase. These gaiaformers come out of the Gaia part of my power cycle and go there. These go into my bucket 1. And then additionally in the Gaia phase, we're going to put a Gaia planet there, and now I can build a mine there, and my Gaia farmer stays there. So no one else can build on that except for me, but I still need to spend the cost for a mine to actually go ahead and do just that. Cool. Man, I mean, part of me is tempted to yank that and do some things, but I think that probably doesn't make the most sense. All right, let me see what I'm gonna do here. After the Automa goes first, support card, regular card, the Automa is upgrading. They're upgrading from a mine to a trading station closest to me. They're both 3 away, so I do not get the cycle off of this. And the directional selection, since there's a tie, they're both 3 away from me, is from the top. So coming down, this is going to be the first mine in that line. So that is that. Automa gets 1 point. Moving around the bend up at the top of the board. All right. What are we doing? That's a good question, Greg. I'm going to spend 1 ore and 2 credit to place a mine here. And I get my gaiaformer back. Where does it go? It doesn't go there. It goes right back into its home. Makes me happy. I get 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And that's cool. All right. And now we can figure out how we want to work this for the rest of this turn. Automa, support card, regular card. Automa's placing a mine. Endgame scoring doesn't matter because it is the green, but it's for the second endgame scoring. Again, that's not relevant for our purposes. So what are we doing? I'm placing a mine, range 2, and we're just doing normal steps. White, range 2. Well, this Gaia planet got us within range of that white planet, so that's where that goes, and 1 point for the Automa. So they're kind of happy to stay by themselves and definitely have that a few more builds than I expected at this point. So we are going to have to catch up a little bit there, I dare say. My turn. I'm going to spend a Q.I.C. and cycle 3 power out of my cycle to put a gaiaformer there. Q.I.C. again just extended my range. But I think that's a strong spot for me and will help me kind of, once I build a mine there, I can actually, and I get this tile, that's a federation, just those 3 structures. And I think that will be really nice. Yeah, I don't even know if I build... this flipped. I did give them those 3 points. That was from last round. Yeah, I don't even know if I go crazy building on either of these because, you know, I'm going to have next round, I'm going to get 4 points for every Gaia planet I build on. One thing I haven't done is done any more terraforming. So I might try to get on this red before I lose that opportunity. Yeah, I'm really few number of different planet types here. Oh, I do get a 3rd planet type for that though. Bing. And one of the things about not going up the navigation track is you always lose out on the lost planet, right? So something else to kind of factor in to the Bal T'aks game. Here we go. Mine. Probably the new one. It was upside down. So that's fine. We're building another mine because the Itars like, we don't build much. Haha, we are gonna build like crazy. So what are they doing? They're building a mine, range 2. Endgame scoring doesn't matter. So we're looking for certain terraforming steps. So gray is there. We got a blue. Do we have any greens? Nope. No greens, range 2. So closest to me, that doesn't count because it's not a colonized planet yet. It's just a gaiaformer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're equal distant. Directional selection is coming from the bottom. So first in line is going to be there. So the Itars are hogging the blues. And they get 3 points for that joy. So 53 up to 56. Cool. My turn. I'm going to spend 4 knowledge to move up on the economic track, and that gives me an immediate benefit of cycling 3 power. Automa's turn. Ding and ding. Automa is going to trying to do some quick math here. I'm wondering if I can be able to build on 4 different Gaia planets next turn, which would be absolutely insane. We'll see. All right, so Automa is going to cover up power Q.I.C. action, 1 coming from the right. There, 3 points, 56 to 59. My turn. I'm going to cycle this power, get it into there, because I'm going to try to use that terraforming step. So I'm cycling 4. I only have 3. That's fine. Automa's moving up on a power on a research track, so it's moving up on this track. 1 from the right, 0 points. My turn. I'm going to do this. I'm going to cycle 3 power. It gives me a terraforming step. I'm going to spend a Q.I.C. to give me range. I'm spending an ore and 2 credit, and I'm placing a mine. I think I'm going to place a mine here. Yeah, we're good with that. Automa's turn. Ding, ding. Doing an upgrade action. Upgrading a mine to a trading station. Has 1 more trading station over here. This one's closest to me. Automa gets, it's not close enough for me to power off of. Automa gets 1 point. My turn, I'm going to cycle these 3 out of my power cycle and move this here. Yeah, I mean, if I can, I don't think I will be able to, but I'm going to try to load up on a lot of points next round with just colonizing Gaia planets. All right, Automa's got a power Q.I.C action, one coming from the left, 1 point. That was where mine was. My turn. I think I'm done. I don't think there's any benefit for me to do anything else right now. Yeah, if I can build some mines, get this tile, and I have put some potential with kind of going up on this track. These 3 tracks here. If I get up on the gaiaforming trap, I grab that. There's 2 more knowledge. There's a lot going on that I like. So we'll see. So I'm going to pass. What am I going to grab? I'm going to take, do I want 2 more? No, I'm not that worried about loading my power cycle yet. I'm going to take, yeah, I'm not going to be chasing points either from the round booster. Let me get this extra ore and a knowledge, and I have passed. So I get this back. Toma's going to go. They have a turn, power Q.I.C action, 5 from the right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4 points, 61 to 65. Toma goes again, of course, power Q.I.C action, 2 from the right, 1, 2, 1, 2, 4 points, 65 to 69. And Atoma's last turn, and they have another action. They're going up on a track, 2 from the right, and they get 2 points. So they just got whopping 10 points after I stopped. Now that becomes a support card. They get this. So that was an unfortunate swing of points for them, that's for sure. We're going to grab all their cards, put 1 more on top, and they're going to get, since it's round 4, they still get only 2 points from that. So they're up to 73. This comes down. We'll flip this over, and I'm going to shuffle all of these. All right, so got to start making some moves. That is for sure. That is for sure. So I think, don't hate where we're at. Don't love where we're at, but don't hate where we're at. We'll see what I can piece together in these last 2 rounds, right? So this goes here, and we're going to do income phase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ore. So I go from 2 up to 7. Right. 7 credit, 11 credit, 12 credit, 15 credit. So I'm going to now have 26 credit, which is ridiculous. We're going to, again, I have nothing in my power cycle, so the cycling power doesn't do anything for me. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knowledge gets me from 1 up to 6. So, and then we got to move all these off before I forget. Now we go to the Gaia phase. The Gaia phase, I'm going to put Gaia planets here under this gaiaformer, and a Gaia planet here under this gaiaformer. And these go now into my power cycle. I am first. So with that, with me going first, look, what am I going to do? So I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credit and put a mine here. This will come back to my board, and I get 4 points for that. So I go from up to 23 up to 27. So Atoma's first turn of the 4th round. What do we got? Support card. Building a mine. Oh, I wish they were flopped because he's getting 3 points instead of just the 1 for the same thing. So endgame scoring doesn't matter. He's doing a build a mine action in range 2. Gray is range 2. There are no greens range 2. There are no whites range 2. There are no, so he's on white. So there are no more blues range 2. So he is going to build a mine there. Still at a range to power, so I'm not able to power up him very much this game, which isn't great. So 73 up to 76. My turn. I'm going to spend an ore and 2 credits. I'm going to place a mine here. Ding. And I get 4 points for that. So 27 up to 31. Atoma's turn. Moving up on his highest research track. So 1, 2, 3, 4, all ties. Those are nice and level from a point standpoint for us, right? So 1 from the right, that one's gonna go up 1 point for the Automa. Great, my turn. I'm going to. It's the official word for today. Is Greg is going to. What do I want to do? That's a great question. I want to do it all. So I think all these tiles, I just want them all. I want all of them. And the neutral players have 5 for planet types, and I have only built on, I did build on the red. Let me remind myself of that. So I built on 4. Colonized 4. That's what I've done. I mean, at some point, I kept putting my power over here for the Gaia forming. So a lot of times you really want to get to those 5 power in phase 3, and now it's like, oh, nice, look at me, I can do a double Gaia forming step or terraforming step, and I can get the brown and the blue. The brown being right there is nice too, because I wouldn't have to worry about range. Well, the other thing though is if I move up the Gaia forming, the terraforming, it's only going to be 3 ore to actually build a mine there, and that's not terrible. That is the opposite of terrible. So right now I'm debating whether I'm literally going to spend 2 Q.I.C. to get 4 points by building a mine there, and I don't see it. Don't see it, because it's going to really hinder me as far as Federation tokens and the like. And I think getting up to the top of the terraforming track should really be my next goal here. And obviously I'm going to need to build a Federation before I do that, but there's some nice synergies and kind of how this could come together for me that I like. I mean, building a second academy is almost pointless because I'm fairly good with credits apparently. So let me kind of stall a little bit. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cycle 4 power. Automa's going to go. Automa's doing a faction Q.I.C. or faction action, so it's a double Q.I.C. action, 3 from the left, 1 and 2, 4 points, 77 up to 81. My turn. I'm going to spend this 4 knowledge. I go from 6 to 2. I'm going to move up on the terraforming track. Yeah, I think I saved my Q.I.Cs. It's fine. I mean, I did. This gives me some nice options that I'm excited about. Remember, when you're building colonies, you have to be careful you don't get jammed up. Or federations. I almost wonder if I try to get a mine. If I try to get a mine and turn it into a research station there, that's a nice federation. And I won't have to, because again, you can't have satellites even adjacent to a structure that's part of another federation. So I'm worried about getting too jammed up here, and I really want to try to turn this in 3 federations if I can, especially with, you know, eyeing the 4 power card there. So there's some nice options. Some nice options for sure. All right, cool. So I moved up on that track. That's good. The Automa's turn. It's a faction action. Automa's going to go there and there. 4 points. It goes from 81 to 85. Just running around the board 4 points at a time because it's what they do. Man, I really need to. I wish they were building close to me, upgrading close to me, so I can get some structures built here. But alas, it's not happening. So I think we just try to get some tactiles, right? I mean, these tactiles that I'm looking at are really strong. Really strong. All right, so I'm going to spend 3 or go from 3 to 5 to 2, and I'm going to spend 5 credit. So I go from 22 down to 17. We're going to put this research lab here, and that's going to give me a tactile. I'm going to take this tactile, and that's going to give me a Q.I.C. and an ore, and I move up on the economic track. Right? Automa's turn. Ding, ding. Power Q.I.C. action, because it's all the Automa does. 1, 2, and score points, because, you know, Itars. And that gets them a point up to 86. My turn. I'm going to take the 3 ore, including the one I just got, and 5 credit. So it goes from 17 down to 12. And I'm going to place a research lab here. And I'm going to take another tactile. I'm going to take, this is tempting, but it's not worth it. I need to make sure I'm moving up this track. Let me think. There's a lot of ways I can move up the track. This is 7 points. 4 knowledge. Right, this is going to cost me 3. I could turn the QI. Ooh. I can get 3. Definitely get 3. I'm just burning QICs to make. I'm basically just turning all my QICs into ore, which I don't really hate right now. If I get up, if I get 1 more, I get 2 more there. Oh, that's probably a no-brainer. I can worry about getting that tactile last if I have another opportunity. That's fine. Now, by the way, I could take the navigation track tactile. I just wouldn't move up. It's not worth it. I'm going to grab this tile because I just want it. And I think that's going to give me what I need to do next round. All right. So I got the tactile. That makes all my federations worth 4 power each. I know I only have 1 on the board, but I have maybe thoughts of getting another one out there. But this moves up, and then I cycle 3. 1, 2, and 3. Automa's turn. Automa's got a lot of cards left. Why so many cards, Automa? All right, Automa is going to do a upgrade action. What is it upgrading? Well, it's upgraded all of its mines to. It's upgraded all the trading stations it can. So it's now going to do a trading station into a research lab, and this is nice. So that's going to go here because it's closest to me. It's the only one that's directly adjacent. And now I'm going to spend 2 points to cycle 3. Bam. Don't hate that. All right, and then the Automa gets 1 point, so it goes from 86 to 87. I don't love that, but I'm happy. I'm happy to get some things I can use. I'm going to cycle these 4 to do this action. This one the Automa hasn't covered that one up yet. I get 2 more knowledge, which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to get 7 knowledge beginning of next turn. I wish it was 8. I could probably make it 8. That's fine. All right, Automa's turn. That goes there. This goes here. Automa's doing another upgrade. All right, so what's its priorities? Well, priorities trigger back to mine to trading station, and then it would be academy. Then it would be research lab to academy. But we have to get this last trading station back on the board, so it's going to be mine closest to me. Those are both 3 away. Directional selection has this guy being in the lead, and 1 point for the Automa up to 88. My turn. We are going to. That's 1 federation. 2 federations. Might be able to get a 3rd federation out here. Maybe. All right, I'm going to spend this 4 knowledge to go up on the gaiaforming track, which gives me 2 more ore. That's my action. Automa's turn. Ding. Ding. Upgrade action. Upgrading a trading station. Oh, upgrading the research lab into the academy. Oh, I'm going to spend 2 points to cycle 3. Yeah. And 2 points for the Automa gets them up to 90. I'm going to spend turn one of my gaiaformers into my Gaia area, get a Q.I.C. I'm going to spend a Q.I.C. to extend range, a Q.I.C. to colonize a Gaia planet, an ore, and 2 credit. I'm going to put a mine here. Doesn't matter here. And that's 4 points because of the round scoring. Gets me up to 31. Automa's turn, potential end of round. It is. Automa gets the first player back. Support card says to grab that. This goes here. So one of the things I didn't get, so that the Ivits playthrough, I had a ton of scoring from the round boosters. That was not in the cards this turn. Automa's going to get 2 points from the round booster, so it gets them up from 90 to 92. And I'll just go ahead and flip. I mean, I honestly could do it again. I don't want to. I don't think that makes sense. I won't flip it yet. So yeah, I'm just not sure if it makes sense to use 2 Q.I.Cs to get 4 points is what effectively I'd be doing if I spent them to colonize that Gaia planet, but it's an interesting idea. Thinking about from a power standpoint, where am I at? If I turn that into 1 federation, I know I don't have a mine there yet, but that's going to be there. This would be a 2nd federation if I make this into an academy. Question is, how do I get 7 power here? If I make this into the Planetary Institute, might be the only way. I have a bunch of credits though. I have a bunch of credits. Yeah, I don't love the idea of burning 2 Q.I.Cs for that. Do not love the idea. Yeah, I'm not gonna get those 4 points now. So I'm gonna move at the end of this round. I'm gonna move those over, get 2 Q.I.C, and that's fine. I will not colonize that planet. Let me get these 2 federations on the board, and I'll figure out if I'm going to have enough to get 7 power for a 3rd federation. All right, and I know I'm getting that federation token, and I'm already eyeing that because that could be a 15-point thing for me for sure. So end of the round, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to need more power in my cycle, so I'm going to grab this booster, and we'll take all of these off, and we're going to flip the round booster. And that is that. So the Automa does get 6 points for this round booster, which is nuts. Because I don't think I'm building many mines at all anyway. So that's basically just giving them a free 6-point bump, which they don't need. They don't need Automa. Automa Factory. All right, what are we doing? So let's get income. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I go from 1 ore to 10 ore. Credit. We have none from there. 4, 5, 9. So we go from 10 to 19. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh yeah, I did not get that out. So 6 knowledge. It's not totally ideal. And we are going to cycle 4. Oh, and I'm going to get +2 as well. So Yeah, there's cycle 4 and I got +2, so I can do that in any order. So I'm going to cycle the 4 first, and that 4 comes from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then add 2. And then add 2. All right, Automa is first. Oh, and I get, so Gaia forming phase, these guys all come back to their homes, and we'll see what they end up covering up on me. Itars, don't do it to me. Yeah, we're probably gonna. Oh, let me figure out this real quick. So the Automa has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So they have 8 buildings and federations. So this is where we are going into this round. I have 0 buildings and federations, and the Automa has colonized 4 planet types. Yeah, they haven't done orange, they haven't done brown yet. So they're there, and I have colonized 4 planet types myself. Cool. Automa. Itars, support car, regular car. They're moving up on a track. They're moving up on the terraforming track. 0 points. That's what I'm talking about. All right, my turn. We are going to, I really want to make sure I get that. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 ore. 1 ore for each terraforming steps. Terraforming steps are only 1. And then 2 credit. So I go from 4 down to 2, and I'm putting a mine. Here, it's another type of planet, and that gets me tied with the neutral 3rd player. Cool. Cool. Grab that too, which is sick. Grab that to start. I have to turn this into a research lab, a trading station. So I could do a bunch of stuff here. All right, cool. Automa, ding, ding. We are doing a double Q.I.C action. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it took my knowledge. The jerk. You jerk. And 4 points. He goes from 92 to 96. I know I got that little covered, but trust me, it's on 96. My turn. We are going to... Man, I should definitely try to take advantage of this power before it's all gone, right? So I'm going to cycle 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Automa's turn. Moving up on its highest track, it has 2 tie for highest, 2 coming from the right, so 1, 2, and 1 point. It's on 97. I'm going to cycle 4 before the Automa makes it go away. You know what? You know what? Man, I'm tempted to grab. Well, either one of those would be fine, I guess. We've already done one of his power action, his faction actions. All those Q.I.Cs are nice. Let me build here. And I think that would give me some options. Can't enter there. I mean, I have to form a federation. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to get lucky and see what they cover up. We do just one thing at a time. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3. So 14 credit left. I'm going to build a trading station here. Oh, and when I place the mine on the brown planet, I got 2 points because of round scoring. Cool. Don't forget your points, people. They're important. All right. There we go. Other faction action. That's not a till. Well, it took my ore away. So 1, 2. That's fine. I'd rather take that away than this away. But now I have all this power here that theory I can use to get 3 knowledge. But we'll see. And 4 points. So 97 to 101. Great. Keep scoring 4 points, Automa. You're the best. My turn. I'm going to take 1 power out of my cycle to build a satellite here. It gives me my first federation. So 4 points for this, 2, 1. That's 7 points. The federation tile I want to take is man, that's crazy. I'm going to take 8 points in a Q.I.C, I think. Yeah, we'll do that because I know I'm going to get 2 knowledge from that. So 8 points in a Q.I.C. So that's going to be, goes me from 33 up to 41, and I'll take my Q.I.C. Thank you very much. Automa, power Q.I.C action. Well, took that one on me. And 1 point, it goes from 101 to 102. So I probably should grab that while I can, is what's really happening here. I'm going to spend 3 ore, 1, 2, 3, and a Q.I.C and 2 credit. And I'm going to build on this, 4 ore, a Q.I.C and 2 credit. I'm going to build on the black or the gray planet, which gives me another planet type. Again, the blue is out here. Oh, I can do the same thing. Let me spend 1 less ore and I'll build on this blue. Does that make sense? No, I'm going to spend the extra ore because if I have any chance, I need those to be pretty condensed. Because that's going to be 4. Yeah, I'm not going to have enough. I wouldn't have enough power to get out to 1, 2. Yeah, I wouldn't have enough power. Well, I could use this to get power. Let me do that. Yeah, let me save the ore. Ore could be really valuable here. All right, so I'm on the blue, which gives me another planet type, and that gives me 6 planet types, which gets me in the lead there, which is what I wanted, and I get 6 more knowledge from that. Don't give me a Q.I.C action. All right, faction. It's going to be an upgrade. What are we upgrading? We're upgrading a trading station into a research lab. So the research lab closest to me, directional selection comes from the bottom. Bang, I could spend a point to cycle 2. Seems to be very little point to do that. I don't think those 3 knowledge are going to help me, so I'm not going to do that. And 2 points for the Automa gets from 102 to 104. I'm going to cycle this to make sure I grab this and get 2 more power. Right, because it'll be 4 for that and 5 for that. That's perfect. That's all I need. Automa, Q.I.C action. There goes the 3. Fine. 3 power goes from 104. 3 points goes from 104 to 107. Cool. My turn. I'm going to take 2 of these Q.I.C off. 2 of these gaiaformers off. Get 2 more Q.I.C. And I'm going to spend 4 Q.I.C to do this power action. This Q.I.C action. And I'm going to take a tactile. What tactile do I want to take? I'm going to take this tactile. It gives me 7 points. So I go from 41 to 48. And I move up on any track I want. I move up on this track. I'm going to flip this Federation token over. I'll put my Federation tokens on the board here. And I'm going to grab this Federation token. And I get 6 more points for that. So I get from 48 to 54 and 2 knowledge. Okay. That should be fine. All right, Automa action, bing, bing, placing a mine. Endgame scoring does matter, of course. So we're looking range 2. They're looking for browns or reds are going to be the next up. Are there any browns or reds? Or, well, yeah, the Gaia planets become Gaia, the transit planets become Gaia planets. So brown range 2 and yeah, that's it. That's the only brown or red range 2. Ding. And that gives them another notch there and 1 point. Fine. My turn. We are going to spend 4 knowledge. So it gets me up to down to, if I go 8 to 4, I'm going to move up on this track. I'm going to flip this token to be able to do that. I immediately get 3 or 6 credit. So I go from 12 to 18 and I cycle 6. So 1, 2, 3. Oh, don't let me do that yet. Don't let me do that yet. So 12, 3, yeah, not doing that yet. So flip that back. This comes back 4 to 8. Why? Because I want to do this first. I'm going to take these out of my cycle first. I'm going to spend 4 power to, oh, I can't do that yet either. Shoot. Do not have the ore. Don't have the ore. Did that a little backwards. That's fine. Trying to think how I'm going to build this out if I can actually get there. The third Federation is probably a pipe dream, to be honest with you. Probably a pipe dream. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about the third Federation. Then we go back to what I was going to do. All right, so 4 down to 8. So I get 2 to 5, 12 to 18, and then I cycle 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here I am. This is flipped. Yeah, that's fine. All right, Automa, ding, ding. Placing a mine. Endgame scoring doesn't matter. So range 2, we are looking at, that's 2 terraforming steps. I mean, I've built on everything, so they really can't get around me. That's 2 terraforming steps. That's 3. All right, closest to me is going to be this transitant planet. Becomes a Gaia planet. And there, Automa gets 3 points. So 108 to 111. Big score for them for sure. For sure. How many buildings they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they're at 10 already. I'm not sure if I should be giving up on this dream of a of another thing or not. I mean, it's crazy, but it's still possible. It's crazy, but still possible. Oh, and I'm pretty sure when I built that, I never took the 2 points from that. Yeah, there we go. Why do I remember these things so late? But I do. I do. Yeah, I think that makes some sense. Am I going to be able to take that tactile is the question. Because that's the one. I mean, that's 15 points. I think that's the thing I need to be focusing on here. But if I form 2 more federations, I could actually move into here and try to take that tactile. But that's really ambitious. But I think my best way to do this is start marching up that track, and then I'll have all the Q.I.Cs I want to do a whole bunch of different things. So how am I going to march up that track? That is the question. If I do 7, update those, another mine. All right, let's see what's up. I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit to do a research station here. Automa's turn. End the game for the Automa. It would take that, but it's ending. We're going to give it its 6 points, so it goes from 111 to 117, which is a pretty substantial score for the Automa. All right, so we've scored all their stuff. Great. What am I doing now? I am going to spend 3 ore and 5 credit to put this research lab here, and that gives me a tech tile. I'm going to take this tech tile. I have 6 different planet types, so I get 6 knowledge, which gets me up to 10. And I can move up on there, which gives me a Q.I.C. I'm going to spend 4 knowledge to go up there again. I get another Q.I.C. Spend 4 knowledge to go from 6 to 2. Go there. I cycle 3, and I get 2 more Q.I.C. All right. I'm going to cycle this 6 power to get 2 ore. I'm going to spend 2 ore and 3 credit to turn this into a trading station. I'm going to to discard 3 of my power to turn satellites into here. 1, 2, 3. And that's 7 power. I'm going to then take a Federation token. I'm going to grab... Oh, wow. Yeah, that's the play, I think. That's the play. I'm going to grab this. I get 7 points. That gives me 56 up to 63. I get 2 ore. Where am I at with structures? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. He's stuck at 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if I don't form that a Federation, it doesn't matter. Then I'm basically just stuck at... Ugh. Oh, it's so ridiculously close. I can actually make... Yeah, I can actually make... Right, I think it's almost like that's a lot of points, but if I can get this last Federation, that's almost more important. Let's see. So I'm going to spend these 4 Q.I.C. to get 4 more ore. And I'm spending 6 and 6 to put this academy on the board. And that's going to give me a tech tile. I'm going to grab this tech tile. It moves me up on that track. Fine. I didn't get the Q.I.C. Oh, I'm 1 Q.I.C. short. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make sense. This is at 7. This was at 2. 4 Q.I.C. Doesn't make sense. Shoot. And so we had this here, and this was here. Great. I'm going to turn this into my gaiaformer just to get this Q.I.C. to see what I'm working with. Right. We're going to spend 2 Q.I.C. to do this. That's going to be 9 points. It gets me from 63 up to 72 because it's 3 points plus 1 point for every planet type I've colonized. And then we're going to spend... I forgot all about that guy. I just don't have enough power. Do not have enough power to stretch all the way over there. Yeah, I was thinking that if I had one more jump there, I could have done some real... I could have actually had 4 points there, built a mine on that, and that would have been really sick. But the problem I'm having now is I just do not have the jumps. Do not have the jumps. So what I could do then, if I put... Now, I go back. Let me not take those 9 points. I go from deck to 63, and I get those 2 Q.I.Cs back. All right, let me go back to the original plan. I'm going to spend 4 and 2 and 6. We're putting this here, and I'm going to take this tile, and I can cover up one of the income tiles. So I immediately get 15 points. I get from 63 to 78. Right? And now since I took an advanced tech tile, I can move up anything I want. I'm going to move up on that. I get 2 Q.I.C. Now this is what I had in mind. Right. So then I can do this. I get 4 credits, 1 to 5. I'm going to spend 2 Q.I.C., 1 for range, 1 to colonize a Gaia planet. And I spend another Q.I.C. as an ore. Range, colonize, ore, and 2 credit. And I can put a mine here. Get 2 points for that. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna get rid of 5 power and my power cycle. Bing. Again, I can do this as long as I don't put a satellite adjacent. I have formed another colony, and I will take the 12 points from that, and that gets me up from 80 to 92. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That actually puts me in first place in number of things in federations, and the Automa has tied the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have tied the Automa has tied the neutral third player in both categories. All right, let's get the scoring. So I have a total of 5. I pass. This is flips, and we're good to go there. I'm going to we'll do the scoring for, again, the number of credits plus the number of knowledge divided by 3. So I have a total of 5 total there. So that rounds, so divided by 3 is 1.23 or 1.6666666667. That rounds down to 1. So I got 1 point there. I'm at 93. And that scoring is done. Now what? So this can flip. We are going to do the different tracks. The Automa is going to be tied for second in both. So that's a total of 9 points for each. That's 18 points. So 17 plus 18 is 35. So the Automa is at 135. I'm going to get a total of 36 points. So I'm going to get from 93 plus 36 is 129. Right. It sounded wrong, but that's right. And then we do what? We have the knowledge tracks. The Automa gets 4 points, gets a 139. I'm going to get a total of 12. 24 plus 8 is 32, plus 8 is 40. So 129 plus 40 is 169. Booyah, that's what I'm talking about. That was... I knew it was there. I was like, what did I do wrong? I was like, I saw it, and then I'm like, I take that. No, I don't take that. What do I take? I take this. Then I jump up there. Then I get the Q.I.C. to do that. Then I have the 7 power, my third faction. That's so sick. That was really... Woo! That was cool. That was... this game, man. I am sure the comments are going to bring it again, because the Gaia comments just get better and better on these videos. And it's one of the reasons I just really get eager to come back to Gaia, because I really appreciate the feedback and the advice and the ideas and how deep and rich this game is. And look at the Itars, man. It is loaded that puppy up. It's just like there's one left. Bing, terraforming step. Yeah, it just worked really well. Just the way some things came together and just kind of piecemeal together a nice little scoring. And you know, it just is what it is. I've said it a couple. I mean, it feels like, all right, you know, the Automa is gonna end up somewhere between 130 to 160, right? It's a little 139 seemed a little low, but you know, it's just a satisfying win when you're like, all right, cool. You know, you get past, you turn that corner and you're up there. To me, that's what it just feels good for my skill level and like how I want to think about this game and how I want to improve at this game and the things that I want to accomplish, you know, going forward as I continue to try to learn it better and better. Bal T'aks are a really interesting faction. I'm curious if there's anyone out there that's like, nah, man, the Planetary Institute's great. And then, for me, I'm like, then, if you're going to basically just undo what was hindering me, right, then what's the point of this faction? Like, what makes them unique? And I think, you know, as I've been learning the Bal T'aks, it was big for me to be like, all right, fine, I can't go with navigation. I'm going to lean into that. Let me see what these Q.I.Cs can do for me, right? Let me see what these gaiaformers can do for me. And the flexibility of where I'm spending 2 rounds, all right, let's get the power out of my cycle. Let's actually do these Gaia planets and make that all happen. And then in the end, it's like, nope, I just want a bunch of Q.I.Cs. Oh, and I guess this would have, I don't think I ever, I didn't have enough. I would have undone that. So I took those 9 points away earlier. So yeah, there would have been 2 open. Itars, you failures. But yeah, like middle of the game, like I have Q.I.Cs packing up. Great. Bam, give me a tactile, right? I mean, we got 7 of the 9 tactiles. Makes sense that these are the 2 that did not get taken. Those are just the 2 tracks that just weren't gonna work with what I was looking to do. I mean, obviously, I went really research knowledge heavy anyway, even without going up this track. What else could I have done? I mean, how much more knowledge could I have actually taken advantage of when I'm already, you know, I've already exhausted 3 of my 3 Federation tokens that I had. I got the 4th one right at the end there. There's really nothing, no point, right? I mean, this track's done. I mean, yeah, you know, that knowledge track, I know there's people that can really make it work in games. Like that's something that hasn't really factor into my strategy. I love the terraforming track. I love how you get up there. I mean, I hate when the terraforming track has that at the top, because you're like, what's the point? Give me something that I can flip over to go up somewhere else, right? That's the first track I enter. I get that token, I flip it, I do something else, and then we're kind of off to the races. You're getting that advanced tech tile for the 15 points, which lets you move up here, and like that was just a really nice combo. And it's just like, I see it. I don't. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. Great. When we could actually pull it off, and that's a big win. If I don't, that's a big get. If I do not get that last tech tile, or if I don't get that last federation, right? So you're taking 12 points off from there. That gives me to 157. And then you're taking, well, I mean, I lose 12 points because of, I finished in last on that. So that's down to 145. And the Automa all of a sudden gets, he would have 15 points for that instead of 9. So he'd be up here. Oh, we tie. How cute. How cute, but obviously it's different. I probably would have lost. I'm sure there's got to be some part of the benefits I got that it just wouldn't have worked out in the way it did. Granted, I was looking at those 9 points as an alternative, so maybe, I don't know. I would have a hard time thinking I would still pull that off, but who knows? Somebody in the chat who's smarter than me can figure this out and let me know. But it's been late, or it is late where I am when I'm filming this, and it's been a long video, and I appreciate you all hanging with me. So let's get out of here. I'll be back. Now I am looking at the Facebook, wow, the Board Game Geek Gaia group. I know they have their monthly challenges. If it ever lines up and it ends up being a faction that I have not done yet, I'll probably jump on that. And I also have had a request to do a live Gaia. It makes me nervous, but sure, we'll try to do that at some point soon, maybe, sort of. Okay, yeah, I'll lock myself into that at some point. We'll do a live Gaia, just so you guys can all laugh at me and me trying to figure this game out on the fly. So we'll see like when I can get that on the schedule. So again, schedule wise, you always go on my Patreon page. You can check out, there's a public post that I put around the beginning of every month, which tells you what's coming up to make sure that you see everything that you want to see in solo playthroughs land. Thank you for your support, comments, likes, all of that. YouTube loves it. I love it as a result, and I really appreciate everyone who's reached out to me over the months and told me how much they appreciate my videos. So yeah, it's been a big part of what keeps this thing going and keeps it fun for me, and I really appreciate the opportunity to share these games with you and people who care about what I'm doing and want to see these games in action at the levels that I play them. So that is that. You're all the best. I really appreciate it. Until next time, happy gaming.